And then, of course, we're going to have more gaslighting about this particular incident. The media is conveniently not covering it.
Mm-hmm.
Trans protesters took over the Kentucky Capitol yesterday because they're getting ready to pass the same legislation that was passed in Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
And then we got the Queer-Anon Shaman, apparently, standing in front of this. Yes, we're just going to scream shame over again.
Shame!
You know what's hilarious is that
that's not the guy from.
I know, that's why I called him the Queer-Anon Shaman.
All right, that dude's just an idiot.
And what's funny is that most of the people in the background who are holding these out, like, look at the guy on the left there. He's looking over at him like, you got to be kidding me. Most of the people who came to chant for this stuff are going to go home and they're going to talk shit about every transformer at this place. Like, did you see what that motherfucker was wearing? He looked like Bobo the Clown.
Now, we are now in Bizarro world.
Yeah.
Or I would say clown world. This is insane.
I said it before and I'll say it again. Majority of the people in this country, they think this is icky, but they don't give a shit as long as you just live your life and you let us live ours.
That's right.
A super majority don't want it anywhere near kids.
Yes.
That's where you fucked up.
Yeah.
But even more funny than that, there's a super majority within the people who claim to support you who talk the biggest amount of mad trash behind your back. At least I will be honest with you.
Yeah, there's even people within their own community that don't support this in any way, shape, or form.
And the reason why they don't say anything, why they play along and then just talk shit behind closed doors is because it is a cult. And they don't want to get kicked out of the cult because it's just like Scientology. No one leaves Scientology alive.
Well, listen, if this gets bad, even the people in the community that didn't support it are going to get treated the same.
Mm-hmm.
So it'd be in their best interest to get on their feet and shut this shit down before it gets really bad.
Yeah. But I got a question for you. I was told sometime around January 7th, 2021, that if you occupy any sort of federal building or government complex, that was an insurrection.
Mm-hmm. They will not enforce it for the left.
Are we going to arrest Maleficent Queer-Anon here?
Maleficent.
Well, look at the horns.
Well, I mean, maybe he identifies as a goat. I mean, they got furries. They got people who think they're cats. People who think they're infants. They're mentally sick.
His pronouns are meh, meh.
Screaming
That's
goat.
okay. Audrey Hales was and were. So it's all good. And what's hilarious, the gaslighting is evident. Even Snopes had to admit after Democrats cleverly edited out the part where he said peacefully and patriotically make your voices heard. Even Snopes had to admit that the claim that the video was edited was true.
Yep.
That blew my mind because these people will cover for anyone and everyone with a D after their name.
For now.
They have openly lied about Hillary's shit more times than I can count.
Yes, they have.
I'm amazed.
Well, I just had some of the stuff I put on Facebook get shot down. It's all absolutely true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went through the amount of ore that they have to get per pound of lithium. And I went right down the list of all of the shit they got to do just to build the batteries for their electric cars.
Yep.
It is a nightmare of waste and abuse, all the digging and destruction to our own planet just to make that happen.
Yeah. That just cracks me up. I accidentally put this up a second ago, but now I'm thinking about it. Like, imagine, like, Canada is going for this shit whole hog, even though China's their model, and in China, this shit would never fly. But you go in with a twisted knee, best we can do is kill you. We're gonna pay to transition your 3-year-old and force every taxpayer to foot the bill. But
we're just gonna have to kill you.
You need a wheelchair. Best we can do is kill you.
Now listen, I think in China they get the same treatment. To be honest,
probably true. Well, they get welded into their apartments.
They're missing 400 million people.
Oh yeah. And what's hilarious, like, this is probably the worst article that I've heard about this whole thing. This blew my mind. Republicans want you to forget their complicity in the Nashville shooting. You mean zero?
Yeah.
None. And of course, they have to go with the bullshit line. Over 6,000 guns are now the leading cause of death for children in the United States. Only because they won't let you publish stats about the poke. Just to be fair.
Correct.
Over 6,000 American children were either killed or injured by guns in 2022. What about Sequoia Turner in 2020? You didn't give a fuck about that 8-year-old kid.
What about
these kids?
Or what about the kids who are like, 13, 14, 15, running around, carjacking people, doing stupid shit, and they get shot, and that stat goes in there as well. That's ridiculous.
It's absolutely ridiculous. And I put together a whole bunch of articles here. All of these sources, as always, available on redonkulous.com. Mm-hmm. Could it be that there's a reason why there have been more gun-related and violent crimes in recent years?
Yeah.
Do you think there could be a potential reason for it that has nothing to do with Republican lawmakers?
I think it has something with somebody's agenda somewhere.
Considering the vast majority, like if you were to remove Los Angeles, San Francisco, Chicago, St. Louis, New York City from the gun crime total, gun crime in this country would drop to almost zero.
Yeah. And if you took the Hispanics out of the Caucasian list in the Uniform Crime Report, you will see that Caucasians are responsible for very, very little.
Considering we're over 70% of the population, that's kind of hilarious.
And when you look at the violent crime stats, over half are committed by
BIPOCs.
People who are black.
The stunning and brave BIPOCs.
And I'm just telling you what the stats in the Uniform Crime Report say.
So Republicans need to remember their complicity, right? But never mind this. Democrats quietly releasing murderers from jail, showing no concern. California, lawmakers releasing violent criminals from prison while imposing gun control laws on citizens. Fetterman voted to put murderers back on the streets. Biden letting criminal aliens be released instead of deported. List of prosecutors backed by George Soros causing murder and crime to soar. I'm sure this has nothing to do with the increase in children being smoked. Mm-hmm. Nothing.
That's actually really good. You put that together well, bro.
I'm just saying.
No, I mean, you're absolutely correct.
It's, yeah.
Well spoken.
And the vast majority of gun crime in this country is committed by the children of single mothers in gangs. 80% of gun-related homicides are drug-related.
Mm-hmm.
Drug and gang. There you go. And most of that happens in blue cities.
And if you take away alcohol from the off-college campuses, a lot of that IPA and SE would not happen.
Yeah. So, just like with the dude on Twitter, if you're going to call everybody else morons, you're going to try to point a finger and claim that side is responsible, know what the fuck you're talking about. It really helps.
Touche. I like it.
It just pisses me off, man.
Well, it's insane.
I mean, we used to talk about bizarro world where garbage is money years ago.
Yeah.
It's never been more true.
It isn't. It is off the hook now, man. This is insane.
And they're lying to your face, lying to you as you're watching something happen and saying that's not what you're seeing. We watched Audrey go through that school, opening fire, shooting through things. We saw a pixelated dead child in a hallway right before she got smoked by those two cops doing their job. Take notes, Uvalde. And they were saying, no, what you're seeing there is not senseless murder. What you're seeing is the voice of the unheard, the oppressed. It's because she was so marginalized and her parents, they just didn't show her enough understanding. So now we got to kill Moria. Wait, what?
Yeah. I mean, what the hell? What the hell? Oh, that's just terrible.
Yeah. Let us take your kids or we'll kill them. Well, that's kind of been your MO now, hasn't it?
That's going to really go sideways.
You ever been to the abortionclock.com or abortioncounter.com? It's off the chain.
Yep. All I can say is this, is we are heading down a very, very dark path, and this is going to get much worse.
It's going to get a lot worse. And the reason why it's going to get worse is because of the kind of shit that you called out in your video yesterday. Laziness and complacency. Mm-hmm. people living with a good enough mindset, not striving to be more than what they are.
This is the complacent list.
Yeah.
And this is the hungry list.
Yeah. And they stop at discomfort.
That's
and that
right.
discomfort usually arrives in the form of, you're a bigot. Oh, no, I'm not. Oh, I guess I better shut up.
That's right.
And then if you speak out on the internet and tell the truth, they censor you. You don't want to get censored off of your social media, so you stop talking about that.
Mm-hmm.
Sooner or later, you feel like the only people that you can talk to are in the room with you. And even then, if one of them has, poisonous tree frog colored hair, you might want to curb your enthusiasm.
And what they have to say to you or any advice you take from them would be very suspicious of.
Do you believe in chromosomes? What are those? Oh my God. What, am I, a scientist? I'm not a biologist.
Well, that's another thing they do to control everyone.
Yeah.
You're talking about stats, and they're like, well, are you some kind of statistician or something? You're like, no, but I know how to interpret this stuff. And
yeah. I know how to read.
It's basically they try to discredit you from the jump.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the argument from authority fallacy.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you think all these Democrats up on the Hill always have to begin every speech with, as a woman of color?
That's right.
As if that somehow gives you dominion over any subject.
It doesn't.
No.
It's just like they think emotion is, who hurt you? They say that to you to try to knock you off your point.
Yeah.
They don't have any argument. They don't have any facts on their side. I mean,
you don't believe
shit.
women without facts or evidence? You must hate your mom.
Yeah, there you go.
No. This is the same shit. It's just a different day. Bigger piles, smaller shovel.
And a smaller bag.
Yeah, my shit bag overfloweth. I'll tell you what.
Yeah, you're trying to stuff 10 pounds of shit into a 5-pound bag.
Woo!
Watch Grunt Speak live every Tuesday and Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern. And if you want to join Pop for Supporter Sundays, go to redonkulous.com/donate and make a monthly pledge. A link is in the Meat Gazer box.